and welcome to My Mom's Basement, presented by Barstool Sports and a very special Peacemaker edition of My Mom's Basement. It is Robbie Fox and Clem back at you, this time on a weekend. It's my fault. I was delaying the recording because we had a show in Indiana on Friday. But Clem, how we doing?
I'm going to be the strong member of this pairing right here, this couple. You know, life with a rock star. If you're married to them, you're dating them, they're in your family. I do a podcast with one, so sometimes you have to, make changes, make sacrifices for the good of the children, which are the basement boys and girls. So we're here and we're making it work, which is fine. This is a lot of this week happened to be a lot of content we had to consume to then spit back into the world. And the Basement Boys and Girls got 3 episodes getting dropped on your lap is never easy. It's not easy when there's baseball. It's like the pennant races are going on. Football just came into our lives, and we have rock shows going on in the Parks universe.
I know. I have noodle brain already. I forgot to mention it's also a Gen V edition of My Mom's Basement. Gen V Season 2 premiered this week on Amazon Prime. We've got a new episode of Peacemaker. So there was a lot to watch. Like yesterday, I was able to sit down and just have like a 4-hour block of really raunchy superhero content to watch. It was a lot to take in, but I enjoyed it all. We did have a pup punk show in Indiana on Friday, and it was a doozy, Clem. It was a big Indiana weekend because Indiana versus Illinois was this huge game. They haven't been good at football in forever. It was a great time until I almost passed out on stage. I almost had a Jim Morrison moment. I don't know if it was dehydration. I don't know if it was I had a speaker like right up against my ear the whole night, so it could have been like. Hold on, let me make sure I have the right mic on. Do I have the right mic on? I do. Okay. I don't know if it was like my equilibrium got thrown off, but we were on stage. We played an awesome show for 2 hours. And at one point, we had like 2 songs left in the encore. I looked at Rowan and I was like, bro, I'm about to pass out. Like, I took a knee during the final chorus of Welcome to the Black Parade. And he had to get in my ear and he was like, you're a savage. You're trying to play through this and you're about to die. You're going to die on stage. It was crazy. I left the stage right after that song, threw up more than I've ever thrown up in my entire life. He was like, you're white as a ghost. They were putting ice down my back. I was so embarrassed to call the show before our final 2 songs. It was also my friend Dom was drumming for us. Frankie is our drummer. His kid was getting baptized the next day, so he couldn't do it. My brother was going to step in. He got as sick as he's ever gotten in his life the day before the show. So we called in our 3rd string drummer on 24 hours notice. I said it was like a fighter accepting a fight on short notice. Just ultimate respect. Kadik and Ella were absolutely crushing it in the crowd. I don't know if you saw the Dirty Dancing video, but they tried to do the Dirty Dancing thing and Ella just went right over Kadik's head. It was a hell of a show. If you were there in Indiana, shout out to everyone that came out. They were doing the Hoosiers. I didn't know that was a thing. That was fun to do with everyone all weekend. But yeah, it was a really good time. It just delayed the recording of My Mom's Basement a little bit.
It's pretty interesting to see, like, we're living through the creation, the birth, and then the evolution and growth of a rock band. And now we're at the point where the rock stars are so strung out on heroin that they're getting sick on stage. So good work by the Fox brothers, to be honest.
I swear I was sober.
Yeah. I know heroin sickness when I hear about it on a podcast, and I'm telling you, I guess I'll blame Mike since it sounds like he went down first and it went to you.
Yeah.
But I had heard actually that at Pizza Fest the week before, you had to be like helped out, escorted out because you were not feeling well, right?
I don't know if I would say I had to be helped out, but yeah, I was dealing with like my tooth. I think my tooth might have been infected. So I was like, my temperature was going up, showed up to Pizza Fest. It was 100 degrees in the heat. Absolutely no shade, no AC. So I was at Pizza Fest very briefly and was like, okay, I'm done. I'm going back.
So this guy has toothaches.
I've been struggling.
You're on the struggle. What is it? The struggle bus, right?
I'm on the struggle bus. Yeah, but I'm powering through. We got to do My Mom's Basement. We got to talk Gen V. We got to talk Peacemaker. And I got to talk Peacemaker with Rick Flag Sr. himself, Frank Grillo, this week. I want to tell everyone to go check out that interview because I thought it was one of the more fun interviews I've done all year, to be honest. He was just such a cool guy. So excited to talk about Peacemaker and Tulsa King, which he's about to be starring in once again. I think season 3 premieres tonight with Stallone. It's always refreshing when a guest comes in and they actually really want to promote what they're like advertising, you know, and it's what we actually want to talk about as well. So everyone go check out that Frank Grillo interview as well. If you're an MMA fan, we talk a lot of MMA in that too, because he's a diehard MMA fan.
I was when you told me that you got him, I was like, oh, is this gonna be one of those things where he's promoting some other project and we could dabble in some Peacemaker? You said no, he is ready to get down and dirty with it, which is perfect for the listeners as well as, you know, obviously for us and for you in particular. And it just makes everything easier, I think, better. So shout out to me, like I'm happy that we're in on him because I feel like he is crushing his role so well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's crossbones in the MCU as well. We talk comics, Marvel, DC. He's gotten to actually transition, go over. The only thing I would say, the guy showed up in the most dapper suit I've ever seen. He's 60 years old. I look older than him. Like I was like,
he's 60?
I didn't want to. He's 60, dude. He's 60 fucking years old. I took a picture next to him. I was like, I got to put out this picture next to this fucking silver fox over. He's not even a silver fox, though, because he doesn't have the Creature Commandos hair. I don't even think he dyes his hair, he said. He's just, that's just natural.
My, like my parents and my friends' parents, and they're like starting to get into their 70s now, but some of them are still in their 60s. That dude don't look like the parents. And granted, he's on a different wavelength as an actor and just a dude that keeps fit, but holy cow, God bless him.
Absolutely. So we do have some news to get into. We'll get into like a little bit of news, Peacemaker, and then we'll end with Gen V since it's a big 3-episode block. I don't know if everyone watched that in time. But before we get into that, let's remind everyone about GameTime, one of our absolute favorite sponsors here. A bunch of people in Indiana were saying they were using GameTime to go to the Indiana-Illinois game, which they absolutely blew Illinois out the friggin' doors. Like, I don't want to take credit for that, but I think Pup Punk played a role in that performance. We were
1-0 this year.
Up.
You guys are 1-0.
We're 1-0, and Roan changed the lyrics to Bulls on Parade. We didn't even know he was going to do this. He was going, rally round the family. I said, fuck Illinois. And the whole crowd went, fuck Illinois. It was awesome. They were going wild for it. So if you want to go to a college football game this year, or even a crisp fall night at the ballpark, we got MLB playoffs coming up. Go to GameTime. They make it so easy. You're not going to be stuck in the queue. The prices aren't going to jump at checkout. You're not going to get logged out mid-click. It's the easiest ticketing website in the world. I saw you were at the Mets game yesterday in your Mr. Met mask. That was hysterical, the KFC story. And GameTime gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use, and the GameTime guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic MLB tickets on time and at the best price. If I look now, Nats at Mets tonight. It's last call. Well, actually, because it's this afternoon, $12 can get you into that game. If I scroll a little further, Orioles at Yankees next Sunday, 3 p.m. game, $22 gets you into Yankee Stadium. You can't beat it with GameTime. It's a great night out. It's a great date night. It's a great night with your boys, a good afternoon, and then you could watch games at night. Whatever it is, GameTime has you covered. Tickets to concerts, shows, sports, anything. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code MMB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code MMB for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the GameTime app today. We love GameTime. They're the best.
Love them. Actually, next week, Ken Jack and I are going to Chargers at Giants. I'm looking right here, $101 for as of now. I bet they'll drop even more by the time you guys are listening to this. Maybe Jackson Dart's first appearance. We'll see how Russ looks tonight. So it could be a beautiful day. And again, we'll be there. Anyone going? Go with GameTime. I'll be tailgating L21. Say what's up and tell them GameTime sent you.
Hell yeah. And we did a great bracket this week with Ken Jack, too. I want to shout that out. It was the best movie of the 1980s. It was one of the more fun brackets we've done, I think, because it was just like really fun to talk about all the classic movies that came out that year. We're talking Raiders, we're talking Empire, we're talking Ghostbusters, Die Hard, all of the like kind of basement-esque movies got talked about on that podcast. It was us, T-Bob, Clemmer, Gooch. It was a good panel as well.
it was good panel. Everyone had passion for like different movies, which was cool, and made their cases, and everyone was really thoughtful. I mean, like we heard T-Bob. T-Bob can just like he could talk down a wall. He's like really good, but he's like he has like deep thoughts on everything too. I've already talked about how much I like having Clemmer, Gooch, and Ken Jack, obviously, and then obviously the Basement Boys. I was saying like we were talking about all these quote unquote perfect movies, and I guarantee I was going to say we should do it, but I guarantee it's already been done. There's probably a guy who's like Jaws is the all in caps perfect movie. 12-minute YouTube, figure out a way to hack the algorithm. That would be a perfect way for the Basement Boys to really bump up the YouTube numbers, but I guarantee that's already been done. But what were we saying? Jaws, Ghostbusters, Die Hard, Empire, Karate Kid, just like the perfect movie where I can never like quantify it like that, but Die Hard, that's why I love Die Hard, because it's like it has the comedy, but it also has the action, but it also has the drama, also has a little bit of love in it. And a lot of those movies just kind of take that all and ball them up together. So we were thinking maybe
I think there's something there. Even if it's been done, we could do it in a basement style where I think there's something there. There was a series that I loved for a while in music called What Makes This Song Great. This guy, Rick Beato, would break down songs, look at the stems, really show you like the inside baseball of what makes a song iconic or classic or whatever it may be. We could do something like that with movies, I think. Make a shortened version, do a fun little edit on it, crack a few jokes, few Barstool-esque jokes, to differentiate ourselves. I think there's something there. If people want to see that, let us know in the comments. Yeah.
And give some movies. You have like any ideas for the perfect movie, movies that fit that kind of awesome movies and they're well-rounded.
Yes. And then as far as news, I want to start off by just giving a round of applause to the best actress in a limited series, Kristen Milioti. The Emmys actually recognized the brilliance behind that performance.
We got to stand up. Standing O. Let's do this for how long did The Rock get? 15 minutes for his? We're going to stand on YouTube for no, we're not going to really do this for 15 minutes. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to do that for anything, let alone a live movie you just watched. But I'm calling her mother for now on. She said how some of her fans call her mother. She's mother because how I met your mother.
And we were praying she would win this award because she didn't win the Golden Globe. Not a lot of people were recognizing the brilliance behind Sofia Falcone or Gigante. And the Emmys was a stacked category as well. She was against Cate Blanchett. She was against some heavy hitters that have won, awards in the past. So I was starting to feel the closer we got, the more it was not going to happen. I was starting to doubt the Emmys. I was starting to doubt the Academy.
Doubt the Emmys.
And then she won and gave the best speech of the night where she was so fired up, so passionate. She's like, I love acting. She dropped her Emmy at the after party. I don't know if you saw that video. Awesome. That thing thudded. I think you sent it to me, actually. Yeah. Thudded on the ground. But I said, that's like Gronk dropping the Lombardi. Like he had a little scuff on that. It makes it better. That's who she is. She's a party girl. We love her for it.
I love in these uncertain times we are living in when people are losing faith in our established, we'll just say things in the world. It's the Emmys that Robbie's losing faith in right now. So I'll tell you, I've said it a million times. I'm looking at my Wire poster. Once the Wire got, I think, nominated for one Emmy its entire run, that's when I'm like, all right, these awards are just, they don't matter anymore. But it's kind of bringing me back in. Now I'm like, Golden Globes, you're out. They put Mother, they gave her the trophy, they gave her the hardware, and very well deserved. And I'm very torn about this now because I love the Penguin. I would be fine if they don't do a season 2 because it has to be right. And I don't know if they can get that story where it's going to make sense and it's going to be able to hit the same levels. However, I'm kind of like, I'm sure this will be part of it. Penguin 2, Sophia. We got to have her at least referenced, if not in it.
In Batman 2, yeah. Matt Reeves did an interview on the red carpet where he was like, yeah, we were too far into the writing process when the Penguin came out, so she's not going to be in the Batman 2, which kind of broke my heart a little bit. I hit the please say psych on it because there's a chance he's just hiding a cameo and he doesn't want us to know about that, and that would be fair game. Would love that. But I do think there's a chance he's not lying about this, and that would be a little strange to me considering the letter from Selena that she got at the end of the Penguin. That felt like you were setting up something for Selena and Sophia to get together at some point and cause some hijinks. Maybe Selena breaks her out of Arkham or whatever we could have there. I'm not really sure. I was thinking, if we don't get the Penguin season 2, is there a chance we just get Sophia as a show? because I would be down for that. Watching her try to get through Arkham, and you give it that dark, almost like scary vibe that episode 4 had when she was in Arkham. I don't know, but like I would, of course, want her to be in the next Batman movie. And if not, like we need another television show of some sort. This can't be the last time we see Sophia Falcone.
So I got your answer right here. It's Sophia Falcone. It's Catwoman. I know this word means a lot of different things, or these letters, BBC, Bad Bitches Club. Tell me that show doesn't work.
I'm down for the Bad Bitches Club. Yes. I mean, that would be premiere fucking every Sunday night, HBO. People would want to see that. Zoe Kravitz and Kristen Milioti on screen together. They were even spotted like after she was in The Penguin. They got spotted in Paris together. They were at the Golden Globes together. Like clearly they started talking almost as if, is there something here? Is there going to be future work together? I don't know, but you can't just cut us off making Sophia Falcone Gigante one of the most interesting characters we've ever seen on screen in Batman. And then you can't take that away from us. We got more.
You can grow the criminal underbelly of Gotham without having to give Batman time, making another Penguin, because then the Penguin has to be in it. You're then using Colin Farrell. It's like you don't want to water down the product, but you do the Bad Bitches Club. And listen, Bad Bitches Club, like that title grabs you. And honestly,
it does.
There's a chance certain governing bodies may not allow that title to go live, but I think you maybe throw a Z at the end, so it's not your typical bitches, but I think it can work. So that's my 2 cents. If with Zaslav, that moron, if he wants to take that from me, free of charge, pal. Just give me the Bad Bitches Club.
Maybe you could get one of those CGI cameos in the background. They just CGI stuff to someone in Arkham. You're an Arkham guard.
I could be the sit-in for the Penguin. Like as the shadow, they don't got to pay Colin Farrell's rider. I'll just be the Penguin in the background. But I get to keep the suit. That's all.
Yes, you need the suit. Yeah,
and I get a credit.
Wear it to my wedding. Yeah.
If I wore the suit from my Penguin cameo to your wedding, Bob, we're cooking now. We're cooking up. Sunday mornings might have to become the new norm here.
I know. Yeah, Sunday morning at my mom's basement works. And Batman Part 2, we got a little bit. Like a tidbit from Matt Reeves on the red carpet where he said, we're going to do a villain that's never really been done before in the movies, which immediately everyone, their brain started going a million different places. He also said that it's going to be something that dives into Bruce Wayne's past, which in my opinion narrows it down pretty much to like 2 villains. I think it's either going to be Hush or it's going to be the Court of Owls. We talked a lot about the Court of Owls when we were breaking down the Penguin. Some of the symbolism in the actual court looked like owls. It was like, I don't know if that was just the set designer being a little cheeky and throwing an Easter egg in there, or if that was actually teasing the next installment. Hush is more of he was a journalist and he has ties. I don't even want to spoil it. He has ties to Bruce Wayne's past, and he becomes this villain that has almost like a mummy wrapped face. And it's really fucking cool. It's the tattoo of Batman I have is from the book Hush, and it's one of my favorite Batman comics of all time. Jim Lee villain. They're doing Hush 2 right now. I don't think it's that great, but Matt Reeves at one point mentioned that he would like to bring Hush in. And at one point in the Batman 1, you see Hush said on screen when he's looking at like the backstory of his parents. So I think it narrows it down to that. There are other options. People want to see Victor Zsasz. People want to see Hugo Strange. People want to see Professor Pig. There's a few like
Professor Pig.
Yeah, and he's scary, dude. Look up Professor Pig. Spell pig with a Y. Pyg. Scary as fuck. He looks like a horror movie villain.
Oh yeah, that's not cool. That is not cool. That's one of those like little Shining-esque, like not even that. Like,
a little bit
sick horror movie stuff that is like, all right, we've gone over the line of weirdness. Yep, I don't like. No me gusta.
And it seems like a lot of people wanted Mr. Freeze in some capacity. It seems like that probably won't happen based on the quote. We're going to do someone that's never really been done before, unless he's just being like, yeah, he hasn't been done like this. But I would think probably not Freeze.
Unless he's the like B or C villain or character. We are introduced or hear of him. Oh, this guy, Freeze. I was looking at Hush, which now I know like the background of him, which again, I won't mention for the people who don't want to be spoiled. I'm looking at the powers. Sounds like a smart dude. Marksman.
Yeah, really smart.
Adept surgeon? What does that even mean? Adept surgeon? That's a power, but it's interesting. That's what they do. But hey, you guys talking Hush all this time, I literally thought that was like The Longest Halloween. It was just the name of the comic books that series. So now the fact that there's a guy named Hush kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, and I would highly recommend that to everyone. It's actually written by Jeff Loeb, drawn by Jim Lee. It's like a super team in comics that came together. It brings in a ton of different villains from Batman's past. You're going to see the Joker in there. You're going to see Poison Ivy in there. He's an awesome fight with Superman in it. So, like, really highly recommended Hush as a book. And it was Batman Day this week. A lot of people were reading comics this week. I'd like to see that. Deadpool and Batman came out this week. They did Matt Fraction's Batman debuted, I think 2 weeks ago now, and they just said sold like 500,000 copies, top selling comic of 2025. So Batman still has some juice. They also announced on the Marvel side, new Cyclops series and new Deadpool series coming in February. You texted me. Maybe you could get a little interested in that. Maybe it brings the comic reader Clem back. I was surprised to see, too, you were interested in the Cyclops series after all that talking about him being a cuck you did.
I just want him to be awesome because I know Cyclops can be awesome, but he just acts like a cuck too much. And as my wife says, he's a pansy in the movies.
Yeah.
I want to see the dude that's the leader of the X-Men. If I love the X-Men, the leader should be the guy I love the most, or I'm like, that's the dude. And he is not that right now. We could agree. And the guy, I like the guy, Marsman or whatever.
Yeah, James Marsden.
I like him. What's the show? I started that show. I have to get back into it that he was in.
Oh, Paradise.
He's awesome in that as well. And obviously the Jerry Dewey stuff. I like him in Sonic the Hedgehog. I am a fan. It's just I need to see more to Cyclops. I'm hoping again. I almost need Jose to be my like chat GPT, comics GPT. That's Jose. And he just spits out all the information for me and tells me everything. The Batman stuff. Like, what would you say is your top 3 Batman? Like series is Hush top 3?
Yeah, for me it is. I would say Killing Joke, kind of the like nostalgic for me comic that got me into reading comics. The Long Halloween, Hush. And a lot of people would put, maybe I would take Killing Joke out and put Dark Knight Returns in there because that's more of a Batman story. Killing Joke is the Joker origin story more than it is Batman. And a lot of people put Batman Year One up there. That's an all-time classic. But for me, I love the kind of long spanning comics where you see a bunch of villains and you see like Batman trying to solve a detective story and trying to go through almost like levels. Like it's almost like a video game where it's like, you got this boss battle, you got this boss battle, you got this boss battle. So I would say Hush definitely is top 3 for me. Some people, I've been seeing some like revisionist history on Twitter recently where people are like, oh, Hush wasn't that good. They're lying. Hush is that good. It's amazing.
I love the Twitter revisionist history, and it gets all the likes. But then you go in the replies, and the people are like, "What are you talking about, dude?" So
yeah,
I've heard all those. Let's stop playing with the dinosaur, buddy. I've heard all those names, so I know there definitely must be respect. Yeah. If I've heard them all, it's very much casual.
And going back to X-Men, I saw it was either a tweet or a thread or something, and they said name your top 3 X-Men. It kind of got me thinking, who would my top 3 be? I think my answer was, and it's a little chalky to put Wolverine in there, but I have to put Wolverine in there.
He's Wolverine.
I think I go Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Cyclops. Who would your top 3 X-Men be?
Man, Bob, just dropping this.
And it's hard. I know it's really hard.
I'm going to go Wolverine. I'm going Professor X. Are we counting him? He's like,
oh yeah,
the man, the X-Man himself. And then I don't want to leave anyone out, so I'm just like looking around at all the different X-Men stuff I have around.
It's almost impossible not to leave anyone out because I named those top 3 and I'm like, oh, I left Gambit out, I left Storm out, I left Rogue out. It's like there's so many great ones.
And I go through like when Storm is cooking, she's like, because she like when she's leading the gold group, she's my one. Rogue is Rogue. You can't go wrong. I sound like Mike Francesa when I say stuff like that. Jean Grey, like I feel like Jean Grey. She's like the connoisseur's pick, but I always want more from her. I guess I'll go Gambit. He just like right now, it's like I'm thinking when I play the video games, like Nightcrawler's up there when I'm playing the video games. But then when I'm reading the books, it's this guy. And then when I'm watching the movies, the cartoons are different. So it's all different. But I'll say Gambit as 3 right now, especially, man, that way X-Men 97 ended, man. Woo! Gambit was.
I know. And it goes to show how friggin' good every medium of like the X-Men are. They're a perfectly like written team in the way that You could have a series where Gambit's the star. You could have a video game where Nightcrawler's the star. You could go back to the well and do Wolverine and Cyclops and them fighting over Jean Grey in the movies. There's so many different angles you could take it. It makes me excited for what the MCU is going to do with the X-Men, knowing it's the guy that did Thunderbolts as well. He did such a good job with like a ragtag crew of heroes that not everyone, cared about as much as they care about the X-Men. So I was thinking about that, and it just made me kind of like further appreciate how great the X-Men are and how much depth they have.
It's almost like they gave him was there a show where like you have like the most basic ingredients and they're like make something out of it? That was him. They're like, you make a great meal out of these 5 very basic things. And they're like, all right, this was good. Now we're giving you like anything in the world. It's the finest, meats and spices and everything you can do. He gets to make the X-Men meal now. So yeah, that's a good way to have the guy earn it.
That is a show too. Isn't that the Guy Fieri show where it's like they go into a grocery store and it's like you got 5 items and then you got to friggin' make something out of that?
I think there is. I just don't know. I don't know my cooking shows very well. I always love when you give Fieri the respect with that little Italian R right there, the true chef himself. Guy wears a flame shirt. The mayor of Flavortown. You gotta give him the hard R right or the soft R right there. That's incredible. Yeah. But do you think like? I would love if Kevin Feige or like in a book one day, they're like, we were interested in this guy and we said, hey, we're going to give him Thunderbolts. And if he hits with Thunderbolts, like that's the training ground for X-Men, right?
Oh, yeah. And speaking of Kevin Feige, we saw this week that Avengers Doomsday wrapped, which we're still like, we don't know what this movie's going to be like. We were texting about it this week. I said it would be very, very ironic if the movie called Doomsday sucked. If everyone is like looking forward to this and then it actually was like the Marvel Doomsday, there's word out that the script is still being finalized, even though the movie's wrapped. There's word out that there's fights on set between stars that they had to keep apart. That being said, I think Endgame was kind of a shit show to film as well. Like, I think they went back months later and they added in the I Am Iron Man thing. He was supposed to give a big speech there. They cut things, they threw things in. This might just be kind of how the Russo brothers work. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous at all. Like, I'm definitely like everything kind of rides on this and Secret Wars, I guess. But you don't want this to suck and then them have to fix things in Secret Wars. It's making me nervous.
I think told everyone's we're all in the same boat, and I'm noticing this more and more. And you said it perfect. Doomsday being like the gold standard of like the absolute shit show. It would almost like finally replace Jumping the Shark, which is about a TV show from like the 70s or 80s or whatever Happy Days filmed, and people don't even know what that means. Like it would be like, oh, that was the Doomsday of the franchise, and people would 20 years down the road not realize it was actually called Doomsday. It would be very funny, fitting. I hope that's not the case. However, I'm very much feeling like it could be the case right now.
They just got to let our boy Waldron cook. That's what a worry in my mind is that they're not letting him cook. If they let him cook and he's writing the whole script, I have faith. If he had to come in and script doctor and like, I'll change this, we have to leave that because we already shot it, I'll change this, that would worry me. But I do have faith in Waldron. He knows comics. He knows the characters more than we ever will, I think. Yep. So I do have faith in him. It's just, can all the parts around him also work? I hope so.
I'm hoping Disney and the Russo brothers just do your thing. I'm almost at the point where I'm going with such low expectations and honestly fear that anything decent will make me happy. Yeah. And then I'm going to almost say, I'm letting you guys, I'm almost like, are they just going to be like, hey, this is what happens. It's going to be kind of what Fantastic Four and Superman was. Like, we had to get this part of the story done. And then Secret Wars is there. Boom. We've hit we're blowing it up and everything's going to change from this moment on. And it's going to be a banger. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm not holding my breath about it, but it's like enough stories really gets you a little nervous. Where are you 1 to 10 on panic meter for this right now? Because also, let's also claim, A, yes, the plane is level. We're feeling good. Yeah. B, like, we're also drudging back a lot of the old memories that got us here because this is the end of this whole phase.
I'm going to say I'm like a 5.5, just a little bit over where I want to be. Just a little bit. I'm not full hit the panic button. Oh, my God, this is going to suck. I'm still in the please don't suck phase.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I'm a little higher because of when you texted me about Doomsday being the perfect name for it. I'm like,
Yeah.
so I'm like a 6.5. I'm like, oh man, this is all kind of work. And listen, nerds, this is what we do. We fret over the silliest stuff or a quote or a story, whatever it may be. But I am nervous, and there just hasn't. This will be the ultimate Russo brothers test. If the Russos nail this,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear they're a system quarterback or whatever you want to call it. Yes, they crushed when the phases and the characters were thriving. If they hit this, though, you got to give them their respect. This is Brock Purdy playing without Debo and Ayuk and all them. There's your sports reference for the week. This guy's doing it they'll be doing it on guts right now. I mean, like, honestly, there's not a lot of characters I'm really excited to see on the screen for Doomsday.
Really?
Dr. Doom, I'm excited to see.
What about the X-Men?
I'm excited to see like the old characters, not the current characters that are current in the MCU, which is kind of like let me preface that right. Like I am excited to see how they're gonna pull in the older characters. It's the current big characters in the MCU where I'm like, we'll see. I'm hoping.
Fantastic Four, I'm excited to see like them meet the Avengers and X-Men. I think the idea of the teams merging is what's like in the most interesting to me at this point. And I guess how they're going to handle Robert Downey Jr. Doom. Like, we still don't know anything about that. And credit to them, no set leaks as far as I know. Like, nothing leaked, which, like, all right, give them credit for that.
I guess Ruffalo wasn't very much involved right now.
Yeah. They just need to not do press. They need to lock them down. Do we want to do hashtag for this week? Hashtag please don't suck.
Yes, please don't suck. I was gonna say Bad Bitches Club. Both of those hashtags though are gonna have you know what? We're throwing it up. Please don't suck. We're using it, and we're gonna see what other things have been tweeted with that.
And then the only other thing I wanted to mention before we get into Peacemaker and Gen V is the One Battle After Another reviews, which isn't the typical basement style movie. It's the new Paul Thomas Anderson, but we did do a full episode on Boogie Nights, so I figured it was worth bringing up. It's the new Leonardo DiCaprio movie. The reviews are off the charts. Spielberg did like a press tour just to talk about how much he loved this movie. He had nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing to do with it. It's the biggest budget Paul Thomas Anderson's ever gotten. Apparently, the first hour of the movie has more action in it than all of his other movies combined. I've been kind of going back and trying to watch some of his movies that I haven't seen before. I watched Punch Drunk Love this week. I've got Magnolia on deck. I want to watch Phantom Thread because I'm so excited about this. It's got like a 97 on Metacritic. It's in the high 90s on Rotten Tomatoes, I think. Everyone's saying this might be the movie of the year.
Yeah, so I was going in with very tempered expectations, I guess is the way you could say it. And just because I think I've seen Boogie Nights. I don't know how many of his other movies I've seen. And I don't know how many of them, like Licorice Pizza, and I don't know if those are my style. So I'm like, I don't know what this is going to end up being. And then you see those reviews, you're like, all right, those reviews are almost too good. I don't need to be going with that kind of expectation. Luckily, I think my tempered expectations have dragged those down. But I'm at, but it's like, then I have to look at the opposite side. Before the movie came out or was about to come out, I said, if the reviews are not good on this, I don't know if I'd skip it, but I'd be not feeling great going into the theater. The fact they came in that good, I am excited. So I'm very excited to see it. I love Leo especially when he's cooking like that. And I mean, all the action stuff for guys not an action guy is a little concerning as well. But man, apparently it works according to the little snobs in Hollywood. Do we know was this at a film festival? Do we know what
how long the standing O was?
I want to know the standing O meter.
I battle think it was at a film festival because I think pretty sure that's where Spielberg might have seen it when he started talking about how much he loved it. I also love Spielberg's just such a wholesome grandpa. He just loves hyping up his boys. Like whenever someone has a great movie, he just wants to talk about it. He's almost like he doesn't get enough credit for having that Tom Cruise style. I just want all of the movies to succeed attitude.
Yes, and you appreciate that from him.
Oh, I love it. I love when people are just positive about their passions.
It's, and again, I said this to you. There's a lot of reviews going around, a lot, but there's only one person's review I want to hear the night of release, and it's a Barstool guy. You're gonna say, "Oh, Jeff D. Lowe or Ken Jack Gooch, Robbie." No, Stephen Che. I am waiting for this one battle after another review. I honestly may wait to see it until after I get the Stephen Che review.
You just
so
need
I
a
know
bad review from Che to know it's great.
I'm looking here. I Googled standing ovation. It says DJ members gave Paul Thomas Anderson a standing ovation for his latest film. However, I don't have a number. And then Ryan Johnson, Blue Sky, I guess tweeted, Blue Sky, I don't think one battle after another can be overhyped. You're going to hear a lot of what sounds like award season hyperbole about it, but it's not. The movie is undeniable. It is really that good, and it's a big, funny, entertaining action movie, but also so much more. I can't wait to see it again. Very high praise. And again, from a guy whose Star Wars movie I didn't like, but I love a lot of his other stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
You got a number?
I got a number. Let me make sure it's for this movie. Oh, no. It was at the bottom of the article. It was hot, fresh off the 15-minute standing ovation for Smashing Machine.
For the Rock.
I was like, oh, man, we got dueling 15-minute standing ovations. So standing ovation, let's all make a pact. Everyone, me, you, everyone listening. If this movie rocks as much as people say it rocks, we all have to give a standing ovation in the theater.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Packed. And I don't know if I'm supposed to say, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that I saw the Smashing Machine. I got to go to like a private screener. I'm just going to go like this.
Okay. Couple thumbs up. Emphatic thumbs up, I will say.
Yes. I don't think I'm allowed to say more, but I'll talk about it when it comes out, of course. All right, before we get into Peacemaker, let's tell everyone about DraftKings. You know we love DraftKings here at Barstool. We've been betting on DraftKings for the NFL season. We've got NBA and NHL coming up, obviously MLB as well. Clemmer's got his picks every day, but that's not all DraftKings does. They also have the DraftKings Casino, which has your playbook for gaming action all season long. You might have seen Marty Mush's videos, Dana Beers, the Rocket Men. Great, fun games all over the DraftKings Casino. Play thousands of popular slots for a shot at jackpots, and over 400 million has already been awarded. New players get 500 spins on Huff and More Buff over 10 days. 500 spins on that is amazing. All you have to do, download the app. It's the DraftKings Casino app. Use the code BASEMENT, BASEMENT, and claim your spins after your first $5 wager. Get in the game with DraftKings Casino, home of the largest jackpot win in online casino history. The crown is yours. All right. Shout out to DraftKings for sponsoring the pod. We absolutely love DraftKings. Now let's get into Peacemaker. Let me pull up my notes on my phone. I was taking notes on my phone over my, again, 4-hour block of the raunchiest superhero content streaming has to offer. Shout out to Lady Fox for enduring that all week.
Oh,
she did the 4 hours straight.
Mixed company?
Yeah, she did. And she loves Peacemaker. She loves Gen V, so she's into all of it. But I did think like 4 hours of this is a lot. By the third episode of Gen V, I was like, okay, I think she's over the sex jokes in superhero form.
Yeah, so I watched Gen V with my wife because she was a huge fan of The Boys, and we rolled it over to Gen V. And we watched the first one together on Wednesday nights it comes out?
Thursday.
Right? Oh, it comes out Thursday.
Gen V's Wednesday. Peacemaker's Thursday, yeah.
So we watched the first one. I was like, all right, I got to get 2 more done before, obviously, the podcast. And it just, timing didn't work, but there's a million things. We have sports going on, kid sports. AJ, get out of the shot, please. And it was just a lot going on here. So I only got the first one with her, the first hour, or the first episode, and that was a lot in itself, which is my first notice. We'll go back to Gen V when it comes, but that she hasn't get into Peacemaker. She just didn't watch it the first time, but she would love it, absolutely love it. So shout out Lady Fox, because wow, that's a lot.
It's a lot. So Peacemaker opened with Rick Flag Jr.'s funeral. And it was Rick Flag Sr. talking to Hardcore at the funeral. Heavy scene to open this episode. We've had a couple of heavy scenes in this season already. Mm-hmm. Episode 5, though, starts with, her promising to make Peacemaker pay. And it was a good conversation that kind of establishes their relationship before we saw the conversation last week. Obviously, it's like mixed order. But when he goes to her at her lowest point last week and is like, you're banned, but there's one way you could get out of this. And she's very conflicted. This kind of contextualizes all of that.
I was happy we kind of got the closure too, where she's like, I'm going to do whatever it takes. So I'm like, all right, I think I know where we stand with her. I also think there's going to be a little more to that when it's all said and done, because I don't think we're going to hardcore heel on us when it's
Yeah.
all done.
And then we get like her setting Peacemaker up. And I loved this scene so much because it reminded me of Adam West's Batman when he has the bomb and he's running and he sees a nurse and then he sees a nun and then he sees a baby and he's like, oh, I can't get in front of them. Oh, I can't get in front of them. It's just that bit with Judo Master's sniper scope where it's like, he ran in front of a dog. He ran in front of a kid. Now he's in front of hardcore. And I thought that was so like well handled. The way John Cena's like physical comedy when he's like ducking behind people and getting in the way and grabs Hardcore's mic and throws it immediately. He's just so damn good in this show.
He rules. No offense to Mr. 15-minute and the emphatic thumbs up standing ovation. But I've seen the tweets and I think they're fair. I think our boy Cena might be honestly,
it's either Cena or Batista for me. I think The Rock is an easy third.
And I got to see more out of Batista too. At this point,
yeah,
I got to see because he plays like the fourth Guardian, right? So that's how much I love Cena's role. I bet if you put James Gunn like in front of the mic, which he's always on, basically, he would say like, I would bet that would be a shout out to Adams What's Batman. It wouldn't shock me at all.
Yeah, and Peacemaker was supposed to be Batista. It was written to be Batista, which is crazy, but Batista couldn't do it because of a Zack Snyder movie. He was doing Army of the Dead, which is unfortunately a bad movie.
Capital B bad?
Not good. Yeah, it's really not good. It has really good ideas. The idea of doing kind of like a heist zombie movie on the Las Vegas Strip, and there's like a king zombie that killed a queen zombie, and the king comes after them. A lot of cool ideas. Like most Zack Snyder stuff, actually. I feel like that's like kind of his thing. Great ideas, bad execution. So it's kind of But Batista had a quote about it this week where he was like, yeah, I really wanted to do that, but already committed to this, couldn't, sign up. But at this point, it's hard to picture anyone but John Cena playing Peacemaker because he does it so well. And he has a funny moment where they get into the fight with all the Argus agents. I loved someone like puts their hand up and Cena just punches him right in the hand. Like the weird comedy like that, like who thinks of that? Like punching a guy in the hand, breaking his wrist. I love the line, put down that adorable little fucker from Tim Meadows. Really funny. And then we see Bordeaux is a cyborg, which like really took me by surprise. You see her eye fucking do a little scope thing. And we learn like a few minutes later in the episode that she got into a crash and half of her body was replaced with cyborg parts. Very interesting. And there was a viral tweet this week where someone was claiming that the DCU was woke because they made Cyborg a girl, and everyone had to tell the guy like Cyborg isn't just a character. That's just what you call robot people. And I don't think the person that had the viral tweet understood that at all.
When I heard Cyborg, I'm like, wait a minute, but that makes more sense. How about our boy Ginger Cool having her like destroyed body as his wallpaper?
Yeah, weird.
Gnarly.
Yeah, a little too much Ginger Cool.
I like a little dark side on my Economos. I can't lie. I like that he has that is some serious dark. That's like Professor Pig level dark side stuff.
Yeah. Incredibly funny little line too when they're booking him and they bring Peacemaker in through the office and he just goes, "Sup, John?" He's like, "Oh, he's really familiar with me. We've like met a couple times." Like he's trying to play it off in the office. Very funny.
Very good.
And very funny conversation on the phone where someone calls in for Adebayo's ad in the paper, one of the 12, I guess, that subscribes to that magazine. They call in and they're like, "Yeah, do you specialize in Greek?" And Lady Fox said, "Is she going to a frat party? Like, what does that mean?" And I thought like, oh, you're probably right. She's going to get hired for a frat party. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be funny. No. Vigilante tells her that's like code word for taking it in the behind for prostitution. She's like, "I'm not a prostitute." He's like, "I know. And I would never kill a prostitute either. They've been through enough."
I have to admit, guys, I tell you, if I was not a prostitute guy, never have been, probably never will. I can't say for sure never will be, but more than likely never will be. I got to say, I sniffed that one out. I'm like, that seems like, and I'm like,
really?
Oh, that could mean that. Yeah. Again, back in the 90s, 2000s, it was a wild time. You heard a lot of jokes or you heard a lot of things and you're like, whoa. So I sniffed that one out, and that was a good way to make that, because like, oh man, she's getting calls. If that's what the calls are about, very funny.
Yeah, poor Adebayo.
If she keeps getting calls too, and she doesn't realize what she's getting called about, that would be funny.
And then we see Economos actually books Chris because Grillo's beating the shit out of him, and he realizes that might be the only way to save his life. Like, let's make this official. Let's get it on the books. And they have to release him because of that. And that's like a good, smart plot device, I guess, to get him out, for him to be arrested, but then he's also free again right afterwards. And that scene where he's beating the shit out of Peacemaker was crazy. He's yelling at him to fight back. He's all bloody. He knees him in the throat at one point. That shot was like shocking to see. They got like a UFC reaction out of him. I went, oh,
that's your
nasty.
boy too who was doing that.
I know. And he was teasing me too. Like when he was in the office, he's like, this week's episode, fucking me and Cena, we get it.
We get after it. Yeah. There was a line. Well, I love the Tim Meadows line. I was like, that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Like someone said, like, he's not. It's like the fact he's so pure makes what he says like mean so much more. He's like a good person at his heart.
Yeah.
Like, but he calls you titties. Like he's not trying to be a mean person. He also had a line too where he's like, "You almost killed," and he said the nickname. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it had me rolling when he was just calling them by their stupid call names.
I loved Judo Master's nickname is Duncan Munchkins. He's like, if you call me Duncan Munchkins one more time, I'm gonna rip your dick off. I am literally going to rip your dick off.
I love that too. I have it in note here. Duncan Munchkins, one of the greatest, like, I don't know if innovation, donut holes have been around forever, but I think those are the go-tos when people bring donuts now to a party. They're not getting the donuts, you're getting Munchkins, so you can snack
unless you're up north or Midwest, you get the Timbits from Tim Hortons. I know that's a big thing.
That makes sense. What's your favorite Duncan Munchkin?
Honestly, boring, but straight glazed.
I thought you were going to go old-fashioned, which would be the
No.
However, glazed is a little. I love
glazed, chocolate glazed, so good. And then the powdered donut. I don't fuck with the jelly ones.
See, that's the thing. I do fuck with the jelly ones, and I do understand that it's a little odd consistency for people. Texture is a big thing for me. I don't like chewing onions or peppers in my sandwiches. I like the flavor. I love the jelly. So I'm actually very happy. The kids are still scared of jelly. I give Dad all the jellies. And the chocolate, I think Dunkin's chocolate frosted is their best donut, personally. Other than the cruller. The French cruller is the king of all donuts, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
That's the number 2.
I'm a big vanilla frosted with sprinkles guy. That's my go-to donut.
So that is AJ's as well. A little side story for everyone. AJ just started. He has soccer and he has football. And I told him anytime he scores a goal or anytime he scores a touchdown or gets 5 or more flags, he gets a donut. Kid got us on both days. Boom, boom, goal, followed by touchdown and 5 flags. So we have to figure out he gets like another treat. And the fact the kid is like rail thin, I don't have to worry about the donuts doing too much damage to his
That was the same thing with me growing up. Like my mom would give me every snack I ever wanted because I just wouldn't gain weight.
It's kind of frustrating as someone that does gain the weight, but hey, maybe it like goes to me. I'm like E.T. and Elliot, where everything he eats goes to me. I'll just blame that on him for now on. But it's incredible, and it was like because he was passive the first year playing sports. Not surprising. You put donuts on the line; these kids are throwing bows, and he's getting in there.
And then we get the Red Saint Wild Eagly scene, the big confrontation finally, and great CGI Fox, by the way. I was upset to see that as a fox myself. The fox ate the poison.
Was that a fox?
I think it was.
I thought I had coyote on my bingo board or whatever, but you're a fox guy more than I am, so I'll believe you.
It was so well done in terms of like, especially for TV CGI. It wasn't like this is movie level budget. I was really impressed with that, and I laughed so hard when he takes his gun case out and he pulls out a Looney Tunes fucking big gun, the biggest gun of all. That thing must have been 7 feet long with a barrel the size of a softball. That was so funny to me. And his whole character, I mean, it was, spoilers, short-lived, but such a great little addition to put Michael Rooker in when he gets in. You think he kills Eagly for a second, although I never thought that. I was like,
I was brokenhearted for
it was a mean fake out, but I was like, there's no way that's how they're taking such an iconic hero in this series out, like so passively like that. But then you see the other one swarm in, and it's like Eagly has his own Eagle Avengers. I thought that was so fucking great. And the way they just surround him, it's very James Gunn. He lets Crypto fucking get after Lex Luthor. He lets Rocket Raccoon get after the Evolutionary. He likes the animals getting their one up on their abusers, if you want to like label it like that. And it was just a great death scene. They're poking him away, and he's screaming, and he sees Eagly is the Prime Eagle. That was such a great reveal as well. The Prime Eagle. Such a good scene in this episode.
As again, diehard bird of prey guy ever since I had kids, I'm the one saying kids look a hawk and whatever. I could not sing its praises enough. That was so awesome. Birds of prey are so badass, man. And what they did to him, just clawing him up, and they got the talons and everything. Oh, it was just amazing. And the beak, just tore my boy to shreds. Did you think it was a little cheap though, giving us a fake hero death there? Did you feel like because
maybe because I truly didn't buy it. Lady Fox was like, oh my God, is that Eagly? And I was like, that can't be, right? It's gotta be. And then they do. It's almost the Chewbacca Rise of Skywalker.
So
I was no fucking way, right?
I was trying to get you being like, that was wrong, blah, blah, blah. Then I'd say, well, they did it to Chewie because that was wrong. that was wrong. I'm still mad about that. You do it to anybody but Chewie and R2.
Yeah.
You won't do it to R2 either. Those are the two.
And Chewie, they really did a half measure with it too, because they do the fake out and they reveal that he's alive literally 100 seconds after the fake out. It might have been 2 minutes, 30 seconds max, but they don't even let it sink in really.
Yeah, I left the theater mad on many different levels, and that was just one of them.
And then Chris goes into the portal. He closes it behind him. He locks it off. And we get his goodbye letter read to November Rain, which me as a big Guns N' Roses fan. I love James Gunn needle drops. I thought that was perfect. I was also sort of expecting something big because it fades out right as the song is about to ramp up. So I was like, oh shit, is something big about to come? But no, they just used the intro of it, which was perfect. And then we get the 11th Street Gang talking about, we're going to use the portal. Of course, we're going to use the portal. We're going to go after them. And we get a little cameo when we go to the new universe, or, the Nazi universe that we've already seen. He brings Eagly there. He tells Keith, oh, this is going to be my new sidekick. And then we see on the news that they take down a kaiju. And I'm almost positive that's the kaiju from Superman. I think in this universe, they're the ones that take it down instead of the Justice Gang, which is such a cool way to loop everything in.
I wonder if Superman being an alien almost. It's no aliens are allowed to.
Yeah, did he not come down to Earth in this universe? Or did he come down and they were we're going to fucking kill this baby right away? How dark does this universe get?
And when they called them kaiju, I'm like, is that a slur they're using? I didn't know what kaiju meant, and I had to look it up. I'm like, okay. But I feel like they might use words that are a little more gritty. Right? They may not use. We'll see. That's coming as we knew it was coming. I think Judo Master. When they see Judo Master
at a bio, they're
a
not
little
man.
Be he's Asian. That can go a lot of different ways. I think he said
they're going to be using Red St. Wild's terms.
Yeah, exactly. They might actually bring back Roker to be that version. He's going to be that guy for you. He does that voice does play well to that.
He'll be a politician in this universe, though, or a guy in he's not a crazy eagle hunter. He's a man in power that's respected.
You know what? Let's plant the flag on that take. I will believe that take now. I kind of like that, Bob. I also had the note about November Rain, and I said, man, we need more shows, and not more by a million or whatever. Same with movies. But how I can't think of another movie or show off the top of my head that uses November Rain for an emotional scene. And I'll tell you, Bob was like, oh, we're getting something big here. I don't know if I would have used that now because I feel like we wasted November Rain.
Yeah, I could bring up one movie that used it, not in an emotional way, but Thor: Love and Thunder uses it in one of the final battles. And I think it is a cool use of it because they kind of use Guns N' Roses throughout, and
that's the thing. Yeah, that's a good point, though.
Yeah,
that's a good point. And I also
good episode of Peacemaker, though.
I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole. I was like, you know what? I've been watching a lot of band documentaries lately, and just documentaries in general about more nostalgic stuff, not too far. And I just watched the Led Zeppelin one as well. I watched a couple other Making the Bands, and we did almost.
You watched the Billy Joel one, I know.
Yes, I watched the Billy Joel one. Yep, thank you for that. And I was like, you know what? I had to watch a Guns N' Roses one, Most Dangerous Band. It was a BBC one. It's on Peacock if anyone wants to watch. And it was 40 minutes. I'm like, perfect. This was right up my alley. And I learned just through Googling as well, because I wanted to watch the November Rain video, which was always like, for us olds, we'll let you guys know, always like number one video on the MTV countdowns, always all time.
VH1, yeah.
Always number one, locked in. It's like Stairway to Heaven winning the Labor Day weekend radio. It's like, and now number one, of course, for the 10th year in a row, because nothing changed, Stairway to Heaven. There's a 2022 version of November Rain, which I never knew.
Oh, yeah, they did like a new music video, right?
No, well, the music video was the same, at least the one I watched. However, it's like, oh, they added like a new orchestra, but it's, I think, like the same notes from what I have to listen to them side by side.
Remastered, like fucking November Rain Taylor's version.
I felt a little gypped. I'm just going to say that. I was really excited about either being a new video or something completely different. And I probably hate it because it's not the original. But November Rain, man, that song rules.
Was November Rain 92? Is that like for the 30th anniversary, maybe? I feel like it's around that time because I think Appetite for Destruction is like 87.
So I thought it was 91. Well, yeah, 91 is when Use Your Illusion came out, but maybe they released it because it was maybe
the video as a single, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So it could have come out then, and that would make sense. Oh, it was released February 92. There you go. So yeah, you know.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. Shout out Guns N' Roses. I fucking love Guns N' Roses. They got a new drummer now that's crushing it with them on tour. Axl's hit or miss at this point, but he does have nights where he sounds good.
You guys the story of them is very interesting. I gotta actually see if I can find a Chili Peppers doc, because I read their Wikipedia and it was very interesting how they were another band in LA that kind of came up. So
yeah, check out maybe Amazon Prime. It's either Amazon Prime or Paramount Plus. I think it's Amazon Prime has a lot of the VH1 like greatest albums of all time documentaries, and they're all like 40 minutes. And they have one on Rumors, they have one on Nevermind, they have like a bunch of just classic albums, kind of like the series we were talking about, what makes this album perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
It's basically that, but they do a little backstory as well, and they're all worth watching. They're all really good.
What's it called? Do you know?
I think it's just like VH1 classic albums.
Oh, there's Behind the Music as well. I don't know if that was the one.
Those as well. Those are amazing. The Motley Crue Behind the Music is iconic, legendary.
VH1 series covers making a classic album, so I'll have to check that one out.
Those are all great and so easy to watch. You throw them on, you pay half attention, you hear all the songs you love. Highly recommended.
Use Your Illusion Volume 1. I got that, I think, through Columbia House or BGM. I don't know what the other one was, and that was one of the ones that just like changed the way I looked at music. Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
It's got Double Talk and Jive. It's got Coma. It's got Don't Cry. I mean, they both have Don't Cry, different versions, but it's so good. And then 2 has Civil War. It's got Estranged. They're so good. Both albums are amazing.
2 more things on Peacemaker. One, I was reading some of the recaps, and a lot of people were saying that the way that Peacemaker treats Vigilante is really messed up. And I'm like, it kind of is. And I guess this one, he shows like the emotions of just kind of being ignored by him and ditched by him and all that kind of stuff. And he says ads twice, once in the car, then he says the note with it. And there is a point to be made that it could be Adebayo, or I can't, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
He's also Adrian, and ads would be the 2 ADs, right? So maybe he's saying, I'm talking to both of you when I say this. He also did kind of hint like hey, I could be in another dimension. I feel like
I'm going to meet another version of myself. He says,
and then also, I was just going to give you a couple manta ray facts here. The word manta is Spanish for blanket, which is why they get their name.
That's good.
You got to look at what manta rays look like. If I forgot what they look like, and I was like, holy shit. They have a wingspan of up to 7 meters and weigh up to 2 tons, which makes them one of the largest fish. And they're completely harmless to humans. So very interesting.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, isn't the manta ray in Finding Nemo the T-shirt? They all go on its back, right? It makes sense. That's like a friendly, right?
Yeah, that would make sense.
The school of fish. Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of a manta ray next to a human right now, and like, I did not know they were that big. Jesus Christ! Imagine the first person to be like scuba diving and see one of those things. How terrified you must have been.
That's how like. You have like the people, like the stories like in Moana's Village Hotel about these monsters. That would be a legitimate monster.
It looks like a monster. It looks like an alien.
It doesn't look like Rob. It's a monster. We just are used to them now.
And poor manta rays, they're like, I'm harmless. Hands up. I'm not doing anything. I don't got a stinger. They look like stingrays.
They're terrifying.
And then Gen V, we got 3 episodes, and I will say, the previously on was so necessary for me. where I had forgotten so much of season 1. I know it's only been a couple years, but I had to like kind of reestablish. It took maybe 15 minutes for me to be like, okay, I'm back. I remember all these characters. I remember the backstories. I remember their powers. Now I'm back in this world. Insane opening. The flashback with Godolphin with the fucking ass tentacles coming out of one guy. One guy lights on fire. One guy's face is melting like he's friggin' at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. And then it does immediately say for, Andre, rest in peace, Andre, died in real life. Super tragic story. And the 3 episodes are hugely about like grief and about dealing with the death of a friend. And it's like, it was sad to watch in a way because it felt like the writers writing about their friend, not just, one of their characters.
Yeah, the Andre stuff was deep. But it was also kind of weird because like they didn't have a ton of him in the previously on.
Yeah.
And I couldn't remember exactly what his powers were. And I remember the stuff with his dad and that kind of dynamic. But there was like, I wish they'd given us a little bit more in the previously on just to, because I was like, all right, well, then his death will be mentioned, but it won't really have an impact. No, it very much has it. They bring it up like every 15 minutes or so.
Totally. And I thought maybe that would be something that episode 1 is about. And then the characters move on to the next phase of the Gen V story. It feels like almost the season is going to be not all about his death, but a lot of it feels like it's it sparked off this domino effect.
It might have helped explode the powder keg, you're saying?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. And there is a powder keg with Cypher as the new dean, with the Starlighters going after the superheroes and the superheroes going after it. They're a marginalized group. It was bordering on too close to reality, which The Boys does as well. But there were a lot of moments in all 3 episodes where it was like, it's crazy that they wrote this a year ago because we're dealing with some of this stuff right now.
I'm like, what would they do if they were filming this now? What would this look like in a year? Right?
How much more on the nose can you get? Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you mentioned that opening scene. I was like, well, Agora is back. And again, I think it's like maybe Peacemaker, all the Invincible stuff. I just have to get used to it. But if we go from this to whenever The Boys comes out, it's just so much gore. I guess I have to live with like, this is what it is. This is how they're going to present it. Just live it. But just, I'm at the point where I'm starting to like wince and I'm kind of turning away something. Like I don't.
Yeah, when someone's guts are coming out, it was great for The Boys to premiere, and we see Huey's girlfriend explodes immediately, and there's blood all over him. We've never seen anything like this. Now, having had 4 seasons of The Boys and 1 season of Gen V, the gore is getting a bit much, and you can't really tone it down because that's what the show is. It's like you can't say, all right, we're not doing gore anymore. But we've seen a lot of it at this point. It's not as much shocking and funny as it is like, oh yeah, gross.
I'm going through. I mean, this is a very dated reference. I don't know if you even pick up, but it's like I'm basically watching video version of Garbage Pail Kids. Like it's like,
oh yeah, no, I had Garbage Pail Kids
twisted, and every single time I saw a man come out of another man's ass. Not
that was
out of another man's ass.
He was all wet too.
Yep.
It was so gross. And I was like breaking through his room.
Another day in this universe. I didn't even blink.
Yeah, we see Marie too. Like her powers being blood when she protects the Starlighters. In that scene, like even that, which isn't that gory a scene necessarily, is gory when it's blood everywhere and she's throwing blood at people. She's cutting them open. Sometimes she has to cut her own hand open to use it. Just gross. And the Marie storyline is good. It reminds me of when Starlight was on the run, like when she's wearing a hood everywhere she goes. We meet Dognot, the fucking dog superhero guy who's coming after her, and they get into a big fight. Really ridiculous. There's a Call Her Daddy reference in episode 1. How about that? I noted that right away. Like, if you come on my podcast, we could get to Call Her Daddy numbers. I was like, oh my God, there's no way Alex Cooper knows what Gen V is, right?
I kind of would love it if like Alex Cooper's like, honestly, the only podcast I listen to at Barstool is still My Mom's Basement. I'm a diehard nerd. I love Gen V, The Boys, all this stuff.
Beer pong scene with is it Emma, right? The one that shrinks.
Yes.
Throwing her beer pong style, and then she sees the video of Marie on the phone, and she starts holding the phone above her head like it's a massive TV. That really cracked me up. And we get a big Starlight save by the end of the first episode. And I love how Gen V deals with being like a spin-off show, it makes it feel, having cameos like Homelander and Starlight, it makes it feel like it really does matter. That it's not just a random throwaway spin-off that you don't have to watch the next season of The Boys, which is true. You could just watch The Boys and not watch Gen V. You're not going to be missing a ton, but it feels like you're getting kind of vital information in this show, even when it comes to the Newman stuff in the woods last season and whatnot, where it just feels like this matters. It's not just a throwaway spinoff.
Yeah, like I think Marvel could really use copy that method, because so many shows would feel like they mattered more if you got, and maybe that's part of like the downside of having these massive actors play these roles, and you don't want to be like, I need Tom Holland here, or Robert Downey Jr., whoever the current person is. But I'm pretty sure we're going to have that with Peacemaker, right? I feel like we're going to have either the man with the S on his chest or someone pretty goddamn big showing up. And it does make you feel like, all right, these things matter. There's continuity. This universe is important, or this is part of the important side of the universe. So I'm with you. I had the, by God, that Starlight's music. I did not see that coming. She just kind of just came out of nowhere there.
And she has like a decent, it's not like Daredevil popping up in Echo for 30 seconds and saying 2 words. It's like she has a full conversation, a full scene. And Echo, I guess, credit to them bringing in Kingpin for a little bit like that. The issue with that was like Kingpin was the only part of that show worth watching.
And like
a big part of it.
Yeah, you had to bring him in because it's like the show.
They needed him, literally. Yeah. Like you didn't need Starlight in this episode, but it made it so much better. And it makes it feel like a big premiere. I always like when the premiere feels like a big event. And then it ends with them throwing Kate into the fucking wall with the electricity and cracks her skull open. Another thing that feels like it's setting up for a lot of the season to go forward, at least the next 2 episodes, her and the nurses and whatnot. Yeah, it got nasty there.
It got gnarly. Yes, 100%. Well said, Bob.
Then in the next episode, we learn Andre might have had the micro tears that his dad had. And that's why his death, which was very heroic in character, he was trying to hold the door, trying to break the door open for everyone to escape. That's why that happened. A lot of shout outs to Weehawken, New Jersey. Shout out to Weehawken. The amount of times Weehawken was said, rest in peace, Alexander Hamilton. That's where that guy got shot.
That was the duel?
That was the duel. They would have to go across the water to duel because everything was legal in New Jersey. And that was their version of people go to New Jersey to play DK Casino. Back then, you would go to New Jersey to duel. And that's where Hamilton got it.
Yeah, it's right across the Lincoln Tunnel there. Interesting. I had no clue. When they keep saying Weehawken, I thought it was a little more remote. I guess, are we
it's a nice place, actually. Weehawken's very nice.
So we're shouting out Weehawken. Shout out Weehawken.
Yeah, I like Weehawken.
Shout out to anyone listening.
And you could go to they have a little Hamilton Park where he got shot by the water, and it's like on a cliff, so you can't get down there. But right where he got shot, they got a little statue of him, a little American flag. It's a nice little park. Would recommend anyone in Jersey go check it out.
If anyone wants to know what Weehawken means, the Algonquin tribe, it says it's been interpreted to the maize land, which I guess is like corn, place of gulls, rocks that look like trees. Very interesting stuff. Or that's
basically Weehawken. They've got the gulls. They've got the fucking cliffs that look like trees. The scene where Kate corrupts the nurse, crazy, when she's just saying all the shit Kate's trying to say. She stabs the other nurse in the eye, blood everywhere. And then nurses were just on the floor. They cut back to him an hour later. The nurses are still on the floor. I was like, nobody's come into this room?
I'm like, did she murder more nurses? What's going on here? I was so confused about that at first. I thought that was going to be her new. I said I liked what they're doing with her character, where she's going to just speak through people now because she can't.
Yeah, that was cool.
But that's not going to.
But it was short lived. Yeah.
Her dying, I was shocked, which I guess because she didn't die, it's not shocking now.
But it was in the first episode, I thought there was a chance when the blood was pouring out of her skull, and they were like, I need to put pressure on it. I can't. And then they just left her. I kind of did think that they were going to kill her.
Yeah, me too.
We've got the social media class, which made me laugh. Them talking about how to get followers as a superhero. And then the V-Corps fight class where Cypher just puts this fucking Viking dude in there with them to beat the shit out of the students. And then Saved by the Bell, essentially. Everything about that I thought was cool. It reminded me of there's the scene. Have you seen How to Train Your Dragon?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I know I have to see it before I go to Universal at some point.
Yeah, there's a scene where they do dragon training class, and it kind of reminded me of that. It was the Viking aesthetic and everything like that. But I thought that was cool. And the guy that plays Cypher is awesome. Hamish Linklater, I think his name is. He was a priest in a show called Midnight Mass, and it was like a horror vampire show. He was so amazing in it. He also does the voice of Batman in the latest Batman cartoon, Caped Crusader, and he's a really good Batman voice.
He has the vibes of the dude, I forgot his name, in Asgard when he like takes over and like kind of F's everything up there. He's like Loki's buddy or whatever.
The bald dude, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that Butcher in The Boys?
Is that Butcher? Oh, is it Butcher?
I think it might be.
God damn. I love that actor who plays Butcher.
The Boys actor, right? And it's Carl Urban, right? Carl Urban, Thor. Yes, it is. What a little connection there. Yeah, weird. It remind me of Carl Urban and Thor, though.
Yeah, he kind of has
That's a great shout.
Shit out of people too, and the Greek god side of things. What's his name again in this? In the character? Vikor, yeah. Which
is a lot like Viking. We get the archive scene where Emma's like rolling and she fucking goes into the archive and then it blows up and she's like naked. The guy walks in, she's holding her boobs and he's like, yeah, she does that a lot. And he just leaves. Very funny.
I was like, all right, we're going to get some of this gratuitous stuff. We'll get a little for the people who like to look at boobs. So I thought it was actually thumbs up for me.
And then we get the Deep doing his frat initiation. Another small cameo that just like makes everything kind of link into place. The Deep is absolutely the kind of guy that would be doing the frat initiations, the hood and everything. Such like a dumb hardo guy, but really funny. And then the secret Nazi door. This scene was crazy when they go and they see all the Nazi memorabilia. My brother had an experience like this when he was on his first tour. And I believe he was supposed to be, they was playing at like a church. And they were like, oh yeah, the band could stay here like overnight. We have like lodging or whatever. He was like, great. And he told me like I think it was one of the priests was like, oh, let me show you my basement. I got like cool stuff. And he was looking and it was like some war memorabilia. And then he saw some like Nazi shit. And he was like, wait, what the fuck? And my brother was like, oh, I'm going to sleep in the van tonight, guys. I'm not going to be sleeping here. And it was a short-lived tour. Didn't last very long after that. But he said that was one of the scarier moments of his life.
When you started that with my brother, I was like, where is this story going, Bob?
Yeah.
But yeah, you get the clang, you have the robes and all that stuff. What is going on here? So that was that was a little
almost like Peacemaker when he finds his dad's robes and shit.
Yeah, exactly. When they say in the beginning, like a bunch of like white men from Mississippi trying to fight Northern aggression, and that's it. And I was like, they really hit you on the nose with that one.
We get the reveal that Marie is Odessa. When they go into the files, it was all the babies that were born and listed as deceased, but she obviously wasn't. We go back into Puppet World, which is always funny in the Boys universe when we see like everything as Muppets, when he throws out the sandwich and then the fucking garbage can turns into a Muppet as well. Great. Like, I love the way that's done. I love how it looks like pretty practical for the most part. It's probably a mix of practical and CGI, but everything about Puppet World makes me laugh when Emma goes into the locker room and it's just a bunch of dicks everywhere. She walks up to one guy and goes, Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
That really made me laugh. Great line. Cypher, the reveal that he delivered Marie when she's looking through all the baby photos. Wait, why is he there? She's like, oh, he delivered you, of course. That was kind of crazy. And then the stuff where Harper, the barista, was revealed as the mimic that was doing the spray painting. She was caught yellow fingered or whatever. I thought that was well done as well. She wasn't just, her powers weren't just tail, as they said.
And I liked her power. She was able to then like do the other person's power. She's not like Rogue where she has to suck your life force out. She could just do it if you're close to her.
She could do it for like a short period of time, right? She said like for like 30 seconds or something.
Yep. Then the Muppets, I love how the Muppets and the how Black Noir had like the cartoons. I love anytime they kind of mix things up and the way these characters see things in their twisted worlds.
It was a good first 3 episodes. It was watching them 1, 2, 3 in a row felt like a little much for me. And maybe it was because they started with Peacemaker and it was the 4-hour block, like I said. But I would have almost rather 1 episode a week, and it will be that going forward, I think. But yeah, it was like by episode 3, I was kind of ready to be done with Gen V, watching a different show. But to no real fault of Gen V, it's just like, a bit of overload of the gore and the craziness and the raunchiness, but still good. I'm still enjoying it.
It might be a show that is an hour a week max, because again, you're
Yeah.
getting a lot of that stuff. It's usually the same beats. It's not all that different. I'm with you. Like by the end, I was like, all right, like I just jammed all this into my brain. Again, I have to do it in the basement for everyone who's watching on the same schedule we are. But the reviews being 98 the greatest thing ever so far, I don't think it's there.
That feels like a bit much. Yeah,
it could get there though. Like it's still early. It is what it is. I'm gonna make two predictions now. One that I think is almost obvious. She's kind of the Gen V version of the publicist from The Boys, who's like,
oh yeah, with the stinger.
She's stinging someone, she's dying. They've said twice now. You sting someone, you sting me, then you die. 100% happening.
Disgusting, by the way, with the honey leaking off of it, and then she spits into the fucking gross.
And they're getting extra with the puke. However, it's going to be their thing. They're going to do the gross stuff. They're going to do the sex stuff. They're going to do the blood. It just is what it is. Again, 3 hours at a time is a lot.
Yeah.
And then my other prediction, I guess, and I think it's kind of alluded to. I think we're going to have a bi-gender love triangle. So I think you have. Who's the bi-gender person?
Her name isn't coming to me right now. I'm so bad with names.
And I just watched, and it's Austin. No, is it Austin? No, it's not. Jordan, and then obviously, what's her name? The blood girl. Marie, and then Sam. I think that's going to be the triangle. The way they're like kind of. There was a couple
the "I love you." Was that not okay to say? They already went into all that. Yeah.
And they're even hanging with the bong, and they're giving a couple looks. So that'll be very interesting. Where you have one who's with the guy, the other who's with the girl. I think that could be an interesting twist that the boys would love to throw us. So that's just my guesses now.
And hopefully some more boys cameos throughout the season, especially leading into the final season of The Boys. It feels like that's the fucking big powder keg that this is lending a hand towards. Like I would like to see Homelander again. I would like to see some of the other characters from The Boys pop up here. You don't need them, because there already is a lot going on in Gen V, a lot of different storylines, a lot of different characters, but I always welcome them.
Yeah, I just looked it up. I thought The Boys might have had a recently announced, not yet. Sounds like 26, obviously. So won't be this year. So it won't be rolling.
It's usually like a spring show, if I remember correctly.
I think you're right.
Yeah. All right, that was Peacemaker. That was Gen V. That was Batman comic news, Doomsday discussion. Loaded episode of My Mom's Basement. I hope it was worth the wait for everyone. Want to remind everyone, check out The Bracket, best movie of the 1980s, and my interview with Frank Grillo. I think if you're a basement boy or a basement girl, both are right up your alley. And we will talk to you next week for more Gen V and more Peacemaker.
Sunday's in the basement, and I'm in the basement. I can smell. I'm doing a sauce right now because we're doing a Sunday sauce here.
Nice.
It's a good basement day when you're in the basement doing basement stuff, and you got the sauce coming for dinner.
All right. Hashtag please don't suck. And that is referring to Avengers Doomsday and Nothing Dirty. We'll talk to you next week.